Hey guys, this is going to be sort of a different type of video. Actually, this is going to be more similar to my Christmas lights videos, although it's not Christmas time yet. Got a few more months to go for that. This is just going to be a quick, like, front yard update, if you will, because we had a number of things happen, actually, that I think would probably be interesting to discuss. I don't know. So, as you can probably tell from the title, first of all, one of the things that we have done, actually I have done, that I have wanted to do ever since we moved into this house, actually even at our old house I wanted to do this, was install low voltage landscape lighting along the entire front of the property here. So we have, I'll go get into detail about the system, and how it works and everything. But first, you may be noticing these patches of dead grass on the ground, and you may be wondering, what's the deal with that? Did you have some, I don't know, weed killer or something? A disease of the grass or something? I don't know. No. If you'll take a look up here at our big 100-year-old cherry tree, which I think I've mentioned before on this channel, this is one of the oldest cherry trees, weeping cherry trees in this, I think in this county or something like that. It's got some historic records or something along those lines. And as you can see up there, it's got a limb missing, a branch. There was a large branch that used to hang right in this area here over this part of the house. And this was, I think, a month ago, or maybe even 2 months ago. It was a while ago. It had been a light rain in the morning, and I was actually at home by myself. My parents weren't home, and neither was my sister. And I didn't hear anything. My neighbor came knocking to the door. The neighbor that lives at this house right here came to the door, and as soon as I opened the door, I saw it just laying out here, because it went from there all the way to here. It was huge. And I saw that laying down, and I went, oh man. So, yeah, perfect timing. And it was literally the day after I installed this portion of the landscape lighting system, at least. So it was like, I had to wait until this thing was cleared out of here before I could make a video, because I didn't want there to be a giant log in the middle of the yard blocking the view. But anyways, the reason why it took so long is we originally set up an appointment with the tree company to have it removed and to have them fix up the tree, because I noticed there's cables hanging from the tree. That's a different story. I'll get to that in a minute. But they kept putting us off because there was some storms or something down in Carroll County, and they got a lot of service calls down there for some reason, and they still kept putting us off. We called them back or something, or they called us back or something like that. And they were like, oh, we've still got all these service calls in Carroll County we gotta get to, they had hundreds of calls or something. That I get it that it was because of all the storms and everything, but this was probably a 15-minute job. Actually, well, more than that, because there's more to the story. So it just happens one day, there was this older gentleman, I guess he was just driving around the neighborhood, and he saw this limb just sitting here in the front yard, and he went to our door and he offered to remove it for us. We charged him $300 for it, but it didn't take him one day. He actually he took about half of it the first day, this front part of it, and he kept coming back. He took a little bit back another day. He finally finished, I think, on Saturday or something like that, this past Saturday, when he just removed the final big portion that was sitting here and cut off the part there that had broken. Now the reason what caused it to break was actually carpenter ant damage, and you can sort of see up there. I'm not sure how well you can see it actually. Well, you can see it in this portion right here. This is also carpenter ant damage. See all the little canals and channels and everything for the ants. So that's also, this one is eventually going to suffer the same fate too, I think. Now the cables that are hanging, this one that was hanging over that fell was cabled to that one, the one that's hanging here. So that one broke. It snapped when the thing fell. But then, just randomly out of nowhere, there was this cable going to this branch right here. And out of nowhere, the screw hook that like screws into the branch to hold the cable and just fell out. We have no idea how it happened. Could be that it just rotted enough and it finally fell out. So yeah, this tree is not doing too well, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't remember seeing this all there. That doesn't look very good. So yeah, we need to get this checked out by a tree specialist because we don't want to cut it down. It's a beautiful tree, and it's, like I said, one of the oldest in the county. So that is, I think, the entire story. That covers the entire story of what's been going on with the tree. So now for the landscape lighting system. Now, this is probably what you all came to the video for. I have, this all started when a friend of mine, actually my friend in Ohio, who I've mentioned on this channel many times, who gives me a lot of my stuff, who I love him very much, and I visited him this past July, I believe. Yeah, it was like around the 4th of July, and he provided me with a lot of the materials that I needed for this because he works at a restore, which I've also mentioned, and I guess somebody donated a kit and had been used or something. It was missing a lot of the parts. I was able to cobble together what was in the kit, and I bought some new fixtures to go with them, and yeah, now I've got a whole working system. So first of all, there's 2 circuits on this system. They're both running off of 2 transformers. There's one transformer right there, and I'll show that to you in closer detail in a minute, and then there's another transformer over here because we have 2 power outlets on this house right there. And this was, like I said, this was the first circuit that I installed. It didn't take long at all, honestly. And this is low voltage landscape lighting, which you probably should have been obvious with the transformer being here. So the transformers are both the same. They're both these Intermatic Malibu models. This is model, what is it? ML44T. It's a 44 watt transformer with a single timer. It doesn't have a photocell or anything, it's just a timer like that, a mechanical timer with a manual switch right there. And it just plugs right into the outlet. And then the wire cable for the low voltage lights goes underground and it runs over here. Now on this portion I have 4. These are Intermatic Malibu 3-tier lights. I forget the model number of these. Now, a few of these are different. If you'll notice, this one here, the first one, is really smooth. Like the metal casting is smooth. This one here is really textured. And as is this one. These 2, for some reason, I don't know why, they came in different boxes, so they might be, I don't know, from a different, slightly older, newer or something, I don't know. But this one here is also smooth, the very last one on this circuit. And now, these were actually, I found these 4, and one of the ones over there, which I'll get to in a minute, at the Goodwill, one of my Goodwills that I go to. And I bought them all for $10 each. And one of my old next-door neighbors in our old neighborhood had these very same models, except they were Verde, I think. Like painted Verde finish, like a greenish. And they were this textured version here. So to have these in my yard that's making a childhood dream of mine come true, because I always wanted those lights when I was little. I thought they were so cool. The lamps are all LED lamps. They're like 3-watt wedge-base bulbs. Really efficient. Perfect for this application. And they work with this transformer. They don't use as much voltage as the incandescent ones, so I can have a lot more lights, a lot more fixtures. Over here on the cherry tree, I've got the cable running across the grass part right here, and it goes to here. I've got 4 uplights, 4 spotlights up at facing the trunk of the tree around the perimeter here. We need to redo the circle around this tree. We need to put some mulch here or something, because this grass also needs to go. We couldn't get in here for a month anyways to cut it, so there's some grass growing around this spotlight, a little bit too overgrown. But these 3 spotlights are all Intermatic Malibu models, I think. I'm actually not sure about that. The one there, the one there, and the one there. They're all the same, and they're metal. I don't know about these, actually. But these came with the ones that my friend gave me. As did this one right here, which is a little bit different. It's a bit smaller, and it's got this, like, visor type thing. And this one is also a Malibu one, I think. It has... I've seen these before. I think these are made by Intermatic as well. So, yeah. And these four are all older. They're like they're like old stock, not new old stock there, because you can see the paint's all missing from that one. It doesn't really bother me. I've got LED lamps in these as well. There's a smaller light lamp in that one, and then these three have the same. But the brightness is about the same for all of them. It doesn't look funny at all. So, so that is this circuit. Now this circuit over here it's a bit more expansive. So starting over here, I've also got some 3-tiered lights on this section right here. This first one here is another Intermatic Malibu model, and it's identical, well, almost identical to this one and the very last one over there that are all smooth. But this one's got like a shorter stem, and it's also got a different spike, which is weird. I don't know about this one. This one's a weird one too. And that one's got a 3-watt LED lamp in it. And now these four here, the four final 3-tiered lamps, are actually Harbor Freight brand. They're like a store brand for Harbor Freight, and they are LED, like built in. They don't have like replaceable lamps. So they like wire directly to the cable, but they have like a similar quick connect wire connector as the Intermatic models. And the light output is actually almost identical to that of the lamps that are in those. So it literally looks the exact same. They are basically identical, and I am thrilled that I was able to find these. They're the exact same finish as the smooth Intermatic ones. Like literally, they look exactly the same. Like if I didn't know these weren't Intermatic Malibu ones, I'd think they were. Yeah, very cool. So that wire, that cable goes over here, and then it runs, it tees off right here, and there's a leg that goes this way to this lamp, and then it goes to this portion over here by the driveway. So let's walk around the fence here and take a look at this section. Now this section was actually something that I did not originally plan on, because these fixtures are very different. These were actually the ones from the kit that my friend gave me. That they were like new old stock, I think, because these were still in their packaging, like their plastic wrap and everything. So these were new old stock. Now I think they still make a version of this. I don't know about that. You can see this one's got a bunch of cobwebs on it already. It hasn't even been here that long. Yeah, so there's 5 of these Malibu. These are Intermatic Malibu models as well. I think these are called like architectural grade models. I'm not too positive about that. I'll have to look at the box again. But yeah, so these are actually a lot easier to take apart. They just caps twist off, and you can see the LED wedge base lamp in there. And I put some reflective foil tape under each of the lids as well to maximize that light output. And the cable just goes like straight from that lamp all the way just to right here. I just like cut a trench, and then I ran the wire all the way up to the end there, connected all the lights, and then just buried it underneath of here with a garden spade. So it wasn't that hard at all, and you can sort of probably see down into the cable peeking up in some places. I tried to put it against what is this called? Retaining wall. So yeah, there's one there, one there, one there, and one there, and that balances it out perfectly because we have the lamp post right there, which is already electrified, because I don't know if you remember, I reinstalled power to that a couple years ago. When we moved in, there was a solar lamp post head on there, and so I brought the lamp post head from our old house, the one with the eagle statue on top, and I rewired it, and it looks really nice. Put the sensor, photocell sensor, in the post right there, so it comes on at dusk and off at dawn. Got an LED bulb in there, so it's efficient. And then we've also got these solar spotlights here facing these two dogwood trees. Now, these were actually, this one we've had for a while. There's another one just like this in the backyard. But that one's slightly newer. And these actually we had pointed at that tree before we got the landscape lighting installed. These don't last very long. And at night, occasionally when they lose battery power, they start to like strobe and flash. Especially that one. Although I replaced the batteries in that one and it's gotten a bit better. This one still does it though, because this one takes some weird, huge battery I can't seem to find anywhere. So, yeah. That's about it for this portion of the video. I'm gonna go ahead and take a pause here and I'll come back when it gets dark out so you can see all the lights on at night. So, yeah, see you guys for now. Alright guys, well it's not quite like completely dark yet, it's just about dusk and the lights have all come on. I actually had them set to come on at around like 7:30, which is about when the sun starts to set here. And it's actually around the same time the lamppost over there turns on, so it works out perfectly. And I have them synced, both the timers come on at like relatively the same time. I have them synced up as best I could get them. But yeah, I guess I'll show you. We'll start over here. Well, first of all, the solar lights that I mentioned, here are those. This is the first one, and that's the other one there. This one, that one looks a little bit brighter. Might just be that tree trunk is thicker, I don't know. Yeah, they're both actually quite bright. They are actually comparable to those, if you look at them from a distance. Because, I mean, like, that's pretty bright. The high power LEDs. Here's the lamppost, which of course you've seen before, my Christmas videos. Here are the lights along the driveway here, and you can clearly see here the distinctive light that they cast along the driveway. You know, a majority of it over here is from the lamppost, of course, but there is a lot of light being thrown from these out here. And it does do a good job to light up the yard as well over here. So yeah. Very nice. So that's this section here. Once again, let's see, this part was really critical here because this is where it gets really dark back here. So yeah, it works. And I think it's really nice to have one up here by the walkway as well, to kind of give us some extra light over here. Now the main portion of the house, where we have the 3-tier lights. So here are all the Harbor Freight brand ones. As you can see, it's those 4 here. And in this tree we actually have these little dragonfly string lights that they're also solar. I completely forgot to mention these in the last clip. A few of the LEDs are burned out or broken. That one's actually missing. Because these are several years old now, actually. They're still working, though, so we'll see how long they last. So here are the Harbor Freight brand 3-tier fixtures, LED. They all throw a really nice range of light out here. They cover, you know, pretty much this entire little walkway area for this door that we never use. I think if we were going to start using this door, I mean, we never use this door. It gets stuck on the carpet in there. It's impossible to open. It's just a pain, so we never use it. It's also really inconvenient. And there's no like walkway attaching to that, the concrete walkway there, which is kind of weird. So yeah, I would probably want to put like 2 more fixtures here, maybe like some sort of taller fixture here above this step. I don't know though, because you do have that light there that we also never used. So that's these over here, and then of course the first one here is an intermatic one, intermatic Malibu. You can see the light because that one's got the like, what is it, 3 watt or 2 watt LED wedge base bulb. You can see even in the camera actually, the light uniformity is really, really good. It's like, it's hard to tell. There's very little difference. It's very subtle, but because the lamp in the intermatic ones it's mounted higher up, it's like halfway up, and on the Harbor Freight ones, the LEDs are at the bottom, so I feel like the light thrown out by the Harbor Freight ones maybe actually a slight bit better because of that, but you really can't tell a whole lot of difference. It's very subtle. So here's this section. Again, these are also intermatic Malibu lights. And these all have the LED wedge-based lamps in them, as I mentioned. And now the tree over here, you can see very bright from these spotlights, and like I said, there's 4 of them. I'm very proud of this. This was one of the things that we wanted to do ever since we first moved here, was uplight this tree here. Really, wait for the car to go by. Really show a good statement on this tree. I don't know why, this road is never busy. It's like the most back road you can get, and yet every time I try to record a video out here, it turns into the highway. I don't get it. But anyway, this is that smaller fixture, which still throws out a very good range of light. Now, I originally had one of those, I think it was that one over here. The light on those is a little bit more directed. I don't know why, it's like a little bit more focused in the middle. The lamp in this one is a lot more wide, because it has a wider range. So this one like lights up this entire face of the trunk here. So I just thought that one was better. And this one works well for here as well, the back side here. And when I originally installed these, I didn't have one here. It was like the day after or something when I was driving home from work, I noticed the back was all dark. And I didn't realize you could actually see it from the road there. And so I was like, we need a spotlight back there. So I just took some more wire and extended, actually it was this way, extended it from that one. Whoa, sorry for the glare there. Extended it from that one over there to this one. All right, not run into the cable that's hanging there. And show you the house over here in full view, make sure no cars are gonna come by. Okay. So it does look really nice when you're driving down and you just see the line of lights there along the driveway combined with the solar spotlights. And you also see the tree, of course, accented. So yeah, I am very proud of this project and how it turned out. So our house is a lot brighter now than it ever was. You know, when we moved in here, there was absolutely no light in the front here. Like, even like the light there you're seeing next to the door, that's the doorbell button, the lighted doorbell button, that wasn't even there. Like, the candles weren't there in the window. Obviously, the landscape lighting wasn't here. The lamp post wasn't even lit with an electric lamp. It was a solar head, so it was not bright at all. So yeah, I'm very happy with how much we've brightened up the front of our house and how much more welcoming it looks. I think we've definitely done a great job to kind of, you know, make the house a real selling point. I don't know. I'm just very happy with what we've done here, and I hope that you all have enjoyed this video and sort of update. I know it's not something I normally do. And the next time you see this house, it will be decorated for Christmas, hopefully. If I don't do anything before then. So, thank you guys so much for watching, as always, and more to come.